Yeah, I'd like us to do the second video for today's lesson. So now in the second video, let us look at the next problem. Problem 4 of chapter 4. So the problem says a rigid tank contains 10 kilograms of water at 90 degrees Celsius. If 8 kilograms of water is in the liquid form and the rest is in vapor form, determine the pressure in the tank and the volume of the tank. So, like I said, solution. Step 1, you read the problem. Step 2, you start thinking about the problem. And how do we do that? We start by looking at the problem and we try to get the substance. And the property. The substance and the property. But look, this problem is somehow technical in the sense that we are told that water is at 90 degrees Celsius. So when water gets to 90 degrees Celsius, what is that? That can become saturated water. So this is actually saturated water at 90 degrees Celsius. That water is classified as saturated water. And if you look at the property, which is temperature, it is given in which unit? Degrees Celsius. So those are two critical indicators for a property table to be gotten. So these are two indicators for the property table to be gotten. Two indicators to get our property table. And now go to the question and look at saturated water at a temperature in degrees Celsius and make a choice. So which property table do you think we can look at? Remember, we are looking at saturated water and the temperature should be in degrees Celsius. So saturated water, I can see that this table can be used. Saturated water and the temperature in degrees Celsius. So this temperature in degrees Celsius, saturated water. So therefore, this is the correct property table. And in this property table now, remember we are told that, so this is the correct property table, but let me look at the question. The question says saturated water at 90 degrees Celsius. So I look for 90 degrees Celsius. This is 90 degrees Celsius, so I already have seen 90 degrees Celsius. Now let us look at the question. Let's look at the question. The question says A. So we've gotten the correct property table. Step 3, we're talking about our calculation. And A, we need to get the pressure. pressure of the tank at 90 degrees Celsius. And if you go now to your property table, you can get that pressure at that temperature of 90 degrees Celsius. So this is the temperature of 90 degrees Celsius. That is the pressure. It's 70.183. So we have 70.183 kilopascal. That is the pressure. So the pressure is just gotten from the property table. From the property table, we just get the temperature, rather. Sorry, excuse me. So that's how we get the pressure from the property table. Now the next part is to calculate B. Calculate the volume of the tank. The first thing you want to do is to ask yourself a question. What is the formula for the volume of a tank? Volume of a tank is equal to what? The volume of fluid plus the volume of vapor. And what is the volume of fluid? It is the mass of fluid times the specific volume of fluid. Plus, what is the volume of vapor? The mass of vapor times the specific volume of vapor. So this is the volume. This is volume of fluid, volume of vapor, and this is the mass of fluid. This is the specific volume of fluid. This is mass of vapor. This is specific volume of vapor. And the next question we want to ask ourselves, what is the mass of fluid? What is the mass of fluid? What is the mass of fluid? You look at the question. The tank contains 10 kilograms of water. And we are told that if 8 kilograms of water is liquid, therefore the mass of liquid is 8 kilograms. And therefore, look at the problem. If it contained water originally at 10 kilograms and the water has a final process of the water end up to be 8 kilograms, then what is the mass of vapor? The mass of vapor now is 10 kilogram minus 8 kilogram. So we are going to have 2 kilogram. Vapor is what evaporates. Vapor occurs due to evaporation process. So that is what happened at the end of the process. And remember, the specific volume for fluid and for vapor is gotten from the property table. So you come to this property table for water, which is saturated at the temperature of 90 degrees, and you get the specific volume for saturated liquid and for saturated vapor. So this is the value you're going to use for those specific volume for vapor and for liquid. So in this case, we can determine the volume. The volume now becomes what? The volume of the tank becomes 8 kilogram times the the specific volume for fluid is 0.001,036 meter cube per kilogram plus 2 kilogram times 2.3593 cubic meter per kilogram, and therefore the value for the volume of the tank become 4.73 cubic meter. And always make sure you write your unit. So I hope this video is going to help you a lot for this chapter. God bless you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.